Rusty.
Hi.
Hi, Judy and John.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, Rivka. Good to see you, everyone.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Aura.
Toda. Toda.
Okay.
I'm excited about the seder that you will be with us.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. רגע, שלום רבקה, מה העניינים?
שלום.
אני עושה share.
So I shared your Facebook announcement about your class on my Facebook page. I don't know if anything will come of it.
Yeah, well, I thought, I'm so I'm terrible with marketing and publishing, but I thought maybe to use Facebook. Yeah. A friend of mine told me that she wants to come, not today, but she will. Ruth. Great to see you.
It's great to be back.
Yofi. So you've been well, actually your course of literature sounds very interesting also.
It was a good class. Yes, very good. I just didn't realize when I signed up for it, I thought it was in the evenings here. And then I got confused, and then, oh no, I signed up for it, I paid for it. And
That's fine, yeah. It's always good to learn and study new things.
Right.
אם המצלמה זה עכשיו בסדר? אני לא יודע.
יותר טוב, כי פשוט רואים יותר את החלק העליון של הראש שלך, ולא את העיניים, ולא את הפנים. כן. טוב. We can wait maybe one or two. I know that Adina will not join us today. They are celebrating Yedidia's birthday. And actually, we didn't finish. We didn't finish the 23, so we still have few more verses to we will just read them and move forward. רבקה, אני זוכרת את מה שאמרת בשיעור שעבר על ההון תועפות, על התועפות.
תופעות במקום תועפות.
כן, כן, זה היה פירוש ממש מעניין.
זה מופיע פעם שנייה עכשיו בפרק הבא של היום.
Yes, but I mean, I didn't find about what you suggested, but very nice. I didn't find.
הנה, יש שכר למחשבה.
כן, כן, לא. קטרינה, מה נשמע? טוב. Okay. Let's start. Okay, so can you see my can you hear me well? Can you see my file? Everything is okay?
Yeah.
I hear you very well.
Okay. So we got to we read this chapter 23 until 26, and we saw the picture of Re'em, actually, and we talked about the special phrase or wording of To'afot Re'em Lo, which means...
excuse me, there's a lot of noise in somebody's background, so could you all mute yourself?
כן, אולי רבקה, אני אעשה לך mute.
Somebody's kitchen, it sounds like kitchen noise.
הנה. אוקיי, תודה רות. תודה שרון, לא שמתי לב. Katrina, shalom, how are you?
Shalom.
Good to see you. So, and we understood that To'afot is somewhere very, very high, some place or some point, or and it is from the root of Ein Vav Pei, Uf or Ya'af, or and Hon To'afot is it's a tui, or a phrase that we use until today, which means a lot of money. So I think we can move on. Okay, so maybe Gershom, would you like to read these last 4 verses of the?
אולי אורה,
כן.
תועפות השורש זה תעף, זאת אומרת לעוף, כמו הגלש. את יודעת, המון, ככה כלפי.
Wait a minute, לעוף, השורש של לעוף is עין וו פה. It's not.
יעף, כן,
It's
יעף.
part of the-
כמו הגולש, כזה, abundance, abundance.
Abundance.
abundance זה הרבה מאוד באנגלית.
Abundant.
Abundance, it means a lot thing, many things. So the bless was, God had a bless, he is like many, gadol,
Yes, vast amount. Okay, I mean, the root in Hebrew is Ein Vav Pei. It can't be Taf Ein Pei in this.
איך אומרים יעף? flow to the sky. The bird is flowing. Fly, yes, fly, many.
It's Ein Vav Pei.
Yeah.
This is the root. Okay. Okay, so Gershom, can you read these 4 verses? 27.
Then Balak said to Balaam, "Come now, I will take you to another place. Perhaps God will deem it right that you damn them for me there." Balak took Balaam to the peak of Peor, which overlooks the wasteland. Balaam said to Balak, "Build me here 7 altars and have 7 bulls and 7 rams ready for me here." Balak did as Balaam said. He offered up a bull and a ram on each altar.
Thank you. So as you remember, and maybe I will remind also Ruth, and it's the second time that Bilam is blessing Israel and not cursing Israel. Okay, and Balak says in 25, not only you didn't Israel as I asked you, but you blessed him. Not, I mean, and Bilam said, "Well, I told you all that the Lord speaketh that I must do." Okay, and so this is. And then in 27, Balak is trying some other place of cursing, but it doesn't work again. I mean, we still don't know actually by this chapter, but and we talked about the 7 altars, 7 buluk, 7 the number 7 that repeats in these kind of ceremonies in the ancient world. Okay, before we move on to the next chapter, I wanted to see something that very interesting archaeology finding about Bilam. Okay, so Gershom, can you continue? Now, if there is if the English is not smoothly enough, just you can correct by the way you read. Okay.
Not to worry. In excavations conducted in 1967 at Tel Dir Allah in the Jordan Valley, remains of plaster that had fallen from a wall or tombstone were discovered. Long and short sections of inscriptions were found on them, written in black and red ink, probably in the middle of the 8th century, and according to another opinion, in the beginning of the 7th century BCE. The remains of these inscriptions aroused great interest among scholars of the ancient Middle East in general, and among Bible scholars in particular, especially because the name Balaam bar Ba'ar is mentioned in them, identical with the biblical character Balaam, son of Beor.
Bar in Hebrew is also Ben, son of.
Yes. After Balaam comes the Aramaic word bar in this finding, and the sages differ on the question of whether the language in these inscriptions is Aramaic or whether they were written in a Canaanite dialect close to Moabite, in Gilead, or perhaps in Ammoni. According to the opening, these inscriptions deal with a certain prophecy of Balaam, known as fire in the bosom of God, which equals the man of God's covenant.
This was the meaning of this.
Oh, okay, the man of God's covenant. I get it. And the prophecy was given to him when the God of gods came to him at night, and the gods would come to him at night. In the rest of the inscriptions, there is more doubt than certainty. But the important fact is that Balaam is indeed mentioned in these inscriptions, and the filler bar, which appears after his name, may have a hint of Balaam's origin, according to Deuteronomy 23:5, Miptor Aram Naharim.
Yes, Miptor, he is from Ptor, Aram Naharaim.
Okay.
From Ptor, I mean, the name of the place is Ptor, Aram Naharaim. I just wanted to show you, just a moment, רגע, איש חוזה אלוהים. כן, I just wanted to show you that, I mean, it's amazing that this name, and it is, I mean, all the scholars think that this is the, this regards Bilam of the Bible. It's amazing that his name was found on a stone, on a, I mean, I think it means he was really very famous with his capabilities of being not exactly prophet, but magicians or something like that, or being able to have a special abilities or powers or something like that. So okay.
And of course, once again, saying that it's not just a made-up story.
Yes, yes. No, this is a finding. Yeah, this is a finding. Well, you know, there are many details in the story that you can say that it is made-up story, like the nice story of the ass, and but what I wanted to show is that apparently there was such a man with this name and abilities. It says, רגע, איש חוזה אלוהים. It says here. Okay, let's continue.
But, excuse me, isn't this inscription already 400 to 500 years after the events that were related?
Probably yes. Yes, it's always.
I mean, in some case, I mean, to a certain extent, it reminds me of Paul Bunyan, a person who did not exist, but who has been famous in literature for hundreds of years.
What's the name again?
Paul Bunyan is an American folktale. And it was first written hundreds of years ago, but the name still crops up as a common reference to great strength.
I see. well, all of what is written in the Torah, at least, and also in the books that come after it, were actually written lots of years after the events. Now, the events, we don't know, of course, we don't know exactly, especially in the 5 first book of the Torah. Most of the events are not, it's not an history book, okay? But so maybe there was such a man many years later, but they relate stories about him many years before. If you understand me, what I want to say, they built stories around this name. Yes, the Torah start. We are talking about the time of about 12th century BCE. This is Bamidbar and the living Egypt and all that. And the Torah was started to be written in about the 8th century, 7th century, and it lasted for 4 years. It lasted about 600 years. So it's like what you're saying. Okay. Let's move on to 24. John, can you read 1, 2, and then we will discuss something, and then okay.
Now Balaam, seeing that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, and did not, as on previous occasions, go in search of omens, but turned his face toward the wilderness. As Balaam looked up and saw Israel encamped tribe by tribe, the Spirit of God came upon him.
זהו בינתיים. Thanks. So first of all, it's interesting to see that in Hebrew, and this word in English, enchantment, that we understand that the meaning is this, enchantment or magician or magic or something like that. In Hebrew, it's nechashim. Nechashim, it's not, nechashim in Hebrew, it's snakes, okay? But here it's not snakes, it's the nachash. It's not nachash, it's nachash. It's something about guessing or magic, all kind of magic. Now this time he didn't go and look. In English it's very clear, in more than in Hebrew, as at the other time. So every time he went to search for his tools, maybe we can say it like this, tools or things that he can use to know the answer for to get the spirit, okay? But here he didn't go. He didn't go to the this time.
Yes.
And
he joined God. He joined totally God. Finally, he joined God.
Yes. Exactly. Look at number 2.
We finished. Not two gods like the chapter before, but only one.
And in number 2, we have Vatehi alav ruach Elohim. This is the first time that we have. I mean, this is really special for a prophet. Vatehi alav ruach Elohim vayitnabeh. This is I didn't bring here this verse in number 11 in Numbers chapter 11 verse number 25, but if you remember, it's about Eldad and Medad that were prophet in the machane, in the camp, okay? And then Moses said, I wish everyone in Israel will be prophet. But so here we have really Ruach Elohim, which is, it's like Rivka said,
Blessed by God. Here it is passive. Bilam is passive. He didn't church the God, but the God make רוח אלוהים on him. אני חושבת שפה, יש פה act in action of God for him.
Yes, but look what we read in number 22, okay? In number 22 and in number 23, and see the, John, can you read the other verses here in the orange part?
You're unmuted.
And God came unto Balaam and said, what men are these with thee?
Okay, so here we have God came unto Balaam, not God's spirit, not enchantment. He just started to talk with him, and later in, okay, let's see, let's read this. And can you read this and these verses?
You're on, what chapter are we in? 22:5?
We are now in verse number 5 and 16.
And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, return to Balak and speak thus.
And then?
And the Lord manifested himself to Balaam and put a word in his mouth saying, return to Balak and speak thus.
Okay, so it is difference of than what we have in this chapter. Here we have Ruach Elohim, so he can prophet. He can speak without God puts words into his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what I want to emphasize here. So from now on, Bilam can say that these are really his sayings. I mean, Elohim, God has blessed him, as Rivka said, or put his spirit on him, but he was the one who articulated the naseach. He chose the words. Okay. Now, okay. Let's continue. Judy, can you continue 3 and 4?
Okay. And he took up his parable and said, the saying of Balaam, the son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eye is opened, the saying of him who heareth the words of God, who seeth the vision of the Almighty, fallen down, yet with opened eyes.
Thanks. And in a minute we will continue here. But first of all, it's very interesting to see the Hagever Shtum Ha'ain. Now, in Hebrew, when we say today, we don't say it a lot, but we can say it. Shtum Ha'ain, it means with a closed eye. Shtum Ha'ain, with a closed eye. And here it means the man with an open eye.
Open eye.
Okay, and now and this is why now the translation here is based on Rashi. Rashi says shatam, it means patach. Shtum ayin is
close ayin. Shtum ayin is close ayin, and our verse is contrary that the chapter before, who God make him blind.
Again, it's interesting because if you ask an Israeli what is a shtum ayin, he will say exactly like what Rivka said. Shtum ayin is a closed eye.
He can't to see.
He can't see. He's blind.
Blind. It's blind.
Yes, but it's interesting because Rashi says shatam is patach, is open, and we will see in a minute and other sources about this. Shatam, which is a very unique and special, and it is here in the Bible. It is in the Bible once in this place. It's like shtum ayin can be open eye or closed eye. It's very, and I think that the translation here is open based on Rashi. If you can see what is there in your books.
In
Ken.
one, the translation here is whose eye is true.
מעניין, this is
מה זה true? זאת אומרת, אמיתי? נכון?
כן. Like he sees the true things, maybe. What he sees is the true
Oh.
truth.
There's an ironic expression.
איזה יופי.
There's an ironic expression in English, which has actually become the title of a movie, Eyes Wide Shut.
נכון.
Normally eyes wide open, but it means you're deliberately ignoring what's around you.
Yes, עיניים עצומות לרווחה in Hebrew. I know this film. Yeah. And I think, Yossi, I think you said once that Stum Ein is something that when he wanted to see far away, so he did something like that. Well, you know, when you force your eye to see, so you a little bit, you close it a little bit. But it's an interesting expression. And then we see, first of all, okay, before that, in number four, we have Machazeh Shaddai Yechezeh. Shaddai is the name of God. It's a very ancient name of God. Nofel Uglui Enaim, again with open eyes.
זה מהדבר, כן. פעם סתמו לו את העיניים, פעם פתחו לו את העיניים.
As a Stum Ein, it's not סתמו לו את העיניים, it's open eyes. And this is why this translation is correct according to Rashi.
אשר מחזה שתאי בזה, נופל וגלום עיניים.
רגע, אני רוצה רגע לראות. כן. אוקיי.
טוב. אפשר להתפלפל בלי סוף.
יש לך ספר שלה, יש לך תרגום אחר אולי?
את שואלת אותי?
לא, את שרון.
לא, אין לי תרגומים, אין לי...
Number 4?
Number 3.
Number 3, taking
Men
up
whose
his
eyes
theme.
open.
Well, there is an interpretation here. Well, first of all, the verse is a little different. Taking up his theme, he said, word of Balaam, son of Beor, word of the man whose eye is true. Okay. Whose eye is true. Hebrew, Shetum Ha'ayin. Two other renderings have been suggested. Whose eye is open, the word Shin Taf Mem in Rabbinic Hebrew means to be open, supported by the parallel with eyes unveiled. And by
unveiled without Ken.
Unveiled without a curtain in front. And by a medical text from Nimrud, if someone falls to the ground with his eyes wide open, he has been possessed by a Galu demon whose eye is closed, where Shatam is equivalent to Satam, closed. That is, Balaam was heretofore, that means he was previously blind to God's revelation, or he was actually physically blind, which would account for God's having to open his eyes to see the angel. However, this last interpretation faces the objection that in 22:41 and 23:13, Balaam had to see the Israelites in order to curse them, a fact that he confirms in his oracles. That's what it says.
So very, what I was saying, very interesting. So we have Stum.
She really needs or she really needs to mute.
Yes. So we have, so we have the one expression, one meaning of Shatam, which is open, and open in to be able to see the truth, or to see Israel, or to see what God wanted him to see. And the other
is closed.
Is closed. Exactly.
To be blind. To be blinded.
Yes. And then he was, and now, but when it is closed, you have to move, you have to switch the shin here to be sin, stum. And then you switch the sin to samech. Okay, and it can be in the biblical Hebrew. Just interesting that shtum ha'ain can be open and closed, total opposite meaning. But anyway, I think we can collect here the meaning of maybe he was blind in the beginning and didn't see the angel, didn't see what God wants him to see, but now he can see. He can see, and maybe the truth. He can see the truth. Okay, and another thing that I wanted to show you about again.
אני יכולה משהו קטן להגיד? There is now in chapter 4 we have נופל וגלוי עיניים. Even he is open eyes, he fall. יש פה קונטקט, עוד פעם ניגוד. הוא אפילו שהוא רואה, הוא נופל אם הוא לא נשמע, אם הוא לא קשור, אשר מחזה שדי יחזה. כלומר, הוא קשור לאלוהים, ואפילו הוא יכול ליפול, הוא נופל גם עם עיניו פתוחות. הוא תלוי באלוהים טוטלית. He is depend to God totally. Even he is not blind, the eyes are open.
And this is why you're saying this is why he falls?
נופל.
Okay.
fall. איך אומרים? fall. לא, איך אומרים נופל באנגלית? שכחתי.
Yes. To
Oh,
fall.
no.
Okay.
But in English here, they're translating it as prostrate, which does not mean fall or fallen. It means to be lying flat out.
Oh, I see.
Okay, it doesn't.
רגע, הוא נופל בפח, הוא לא נופל פיזית. He is not fallen down physically. I think he's fallen down morally and spiritually. He's falling down.
Yeah, maybe after seeing Machazeh Shaddai Yechazeh, after seeing the vision of the Almighty, he is like he falls and then. Okay. Okay, Toda. Let's move on. I just wanted to show you. There is the word Neum Bil'am Beno Be'or. Here is the saying of Bil'am. Here Neum, the saying. Okay, Neum today is a speech. Okay, Neum is a speech, and I just want you to see the other sources of the word Neum in the Bible. רגע, who read now? Judy, נכון? Judy, can you continue the orange parts also?
Sure.
About
So
with the word
from Shmuel Bet, chapter 23. Now these are the last words of David, the saying of David, the son of Jesse, and the saying of the man raised on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet singer of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was upon my tongue. And then from Psalms chapter 36, for the leader, a psalm of David, the servant of the Lord. Transgression speaketh to the wicked. Methinks there is no fear of God before his eyes.
Just a minute. And last verse.
Okay, so from Proverbs chapter 30, the words of Agur, the son of Yakeh, the burden, the man saith unto Ithiel and Ukal.
Thank you. Maybe we can focus on these two first verses of David and his speech. Okay, David and son of the saying of David, Neum David ben Ishai, Unhum Gever, and then right after that, look what we have. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me. So, what I wanted you to see that, according to the scholars, sometimes the word Neum comes with the Spirit of God. So if we are talking about Neum, it's not just a regular saying, it's a saying that God actually put in the mouth of the speaker. Okay, it is a saying through the Spirit of God. This is what I wanted. And again here we have Neum, and before that, you remember that this chapter opens with this verse that is actually, maybe it's very, it puts all the atmosphere to this chapter. V'tehi alav ruach Elohim, so we know that everything you say is
Wonderful.
by the Spirit of God. Okay.
And נאום אדוני is the word which שמופיע all the Bible. When God speak, וידבר נאום אדוני, נאום אדוני. זה חוזר על עצמו כל הזמן.
נאום אדוני, it is like the autograph. I mean, after God, I didn't bring it here, but you can find it all over, and Rivka is right. You can find it all over the Bible. God is saying certain things, and then Neum Adonai in the end. It's like
a signature.
Like a signature, exactly. Okay, Ruth, can you continue, please? I will tell you until when. 5 until 9. You can read from your own book, whatever.
Okay. So in mine it says, how fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel, like the palm groves that stretch out, like gardens beside a river, like aloes planted by Adonai, like cedars beside the water. Their boughs drip with moisture, their roots have abundant water. Their rulers shall rise above Agag, their sovereignty shall be exalted. God, who freed them from Egypt, is for them like the horns of the wild ox. They shall devour enemy nations, crush their bones and smash their arrows. They crouch, they lie down like a lion, like a lioness. Who dares rouse them? Blessed are they who bless you. Accursed are they who curse you.
It's one of the, it's a very beautiful blessing, don't you think? With a lot of, he describes, it's very natural, very nature. We have the nature here is very is strong. Okay, so first of all,
or is this the first place where we see Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov? Because that's like one of the most famous phrases in the Bible.
You took my and Bidyuk. This is, it's amazing that Matovu Alecha Yaakov, someone who is not Hebrew, it's not from the children of Israel said it, and we took it. It's a beautiful, beautiful blessing, and we use it until today. Now, as Ruth read, it's very interesting because Ruth, you read in 6, you read as palms, right? As palms. The trees
in 6.
Halim.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Palm groves that stretch out.
Okay, Yofi. Because in Hebrew, it's kinchalim nitayu.
Not
Nechalim, it means streams or little rivers. Okay.
I have a little interpretation here, which explains the difference.
Okay. In a minute, Sharon. Now, here it's not streams, it's not nechalim like we use this word today, but it comes from the word nachal in Arabic, which is palms, which is dates, the fruit that we eat. So it is a correct translation what you said. Sharon, what did you want to say?
What I have is the interpretation of like palm groves. Its meaning in Arabic. Palm groves is the meaning in Arabic, which you just said. Others say canyons or vadis. But then the lush greenery intended by this verse would be missing. So if you just say canyon or vadi, you don't get that beautiful lush green reference.
כגנות עלי נהר. Yes. נחלים here, it's also, הנחלים ניטאיו.
It's water. Here Nechalim means water. And after that we had Kegagot ale nahar. Gagot, Keganot. Ganot means כמו ערבה, means asabim.
So according to the researchers, here Nechalim, it's not water. It's
No?
palms, trees. This is what
Palm groves.
palm grove. Okay. Now another thing about arazim, cedars are trees of
Lebanon.
big trees of Lebanon, נכון? ארז הלבנון, נכון? Cedars. Okay. So here, arazim, this tree, erez, is not does not grow upon water. It is a tree of mountains and high places. Okay, so it can be the meaning in Hebrew. Arazim can be the meaning of trees without fruits. Let's say srak. I don't know how to. When you have a tree that doesn't give fruits to eat. I mean, fruits that we can eat. In Hebrew, it's say atzei srak, and you can.
Not real.
מה?
Not real. אורה, אני ברשותך, פה יש לנו הקבלה, כנחלים ניטאיו, ואחר כך יש לנו נהר. זאת אומרת, יש ממש שתי הקבלות שאומרים שזה מים. בטח גם את שאלת שאלה.
You insist נחלים is... אוקיי.
פה נחלים ופה נהר, ופה עצים ופה ארזים. יש פה הקבלה מדויקת של הפסוק הזה. טוב, הרמתי ידיים על יד רש"י.
No, that's fine. It's like with the תועפות. רבקה, זה בסדר גמור, וכל הכבוד על ה... I'm bringing what I find in עולם התנ"ך, or in דעת מקרא, this book, which also is with Rashi and with other commentators. Anyway, so about the arazim, the cedars that are not, I mean, maybe it's not arazim as cedars, but in Tehillim, this chapter, verse number 9, I will read, mountains and all hills, fruitful trees and all cedars. So what I found about it, that cedars can be the meaning of all kinds of trees that do not give a fruit that we can. That's all. That's because arazim we don't find cedars upon water. Okay, and then we have they should be. What do we have here in your opinion? About water. Look. Flow from his branches.
There's a historical error in 7. Shaul's problem was that he didn't rise higher than Agag, and that's why Shaul lost the kingship.
But he lost the kingship because
he did not kill Agag.
No, he didn't kill Agag, and he didn't kill all of the Amalek, all of the people of Amalek. Yes, but so you're saying that this is not a good.
Well, as a prophet in the visionary sense, he either left out much of the story or he just got it wrong.
Yeah. Well, maybe he didn't know that what Shaul finally did, and then he was fired by God. But you are right that Agag was the king of Amalek in Shaul time. And again, we have El Motzio Mimitzrayim Ketofot Re'em Lo. We will not go over it again because right. And all of, I think everything is quite clear here, how much he's strong and will smash his enemies, okay? Now, what does this verse remind you? Kara shachav ka'ari uchelavi mi yekimenu. Such a beautiful...
ברכת יעקב זה, ליהודה.
And look what
הנה, יש לנו את הארי.
beautiful picture of the lion. Yeah, I think that what he wants to he's talking about when the lion is on the ground. It's not that even if he is on the ground, he's still full of strength. And we have the blessing as רבקה, את יודעת מה, את רוצה לקרוא את זה?
בעברית?
בעברית.
Judah is the lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, to art gone up. He stopped down, he couched as a lion, and as a lioness who shall rouse him up.
As a lioness. By the way, lioness is not the female of a lion?
Yes.
And this is how you write it?
Lioness.
Lioness,
Yes.
okay.
Lioness.
Because in Hebrew, it's not Levi'ah. In Hebrew, it's only another word of Aryeh. Aryeh and Lavi. It's two different words with the same meaning. We say Lavi and Levi'ah. We say Aryeh or Levi'ah also. I mean, we don't have the female of Aryeh. But it's not lioness. Okay.
But I think that these verses also imply that even when the lion is sleeping, you don't want to mess with him. You don't want to disturb him or her.
Yes, or her.
And that's like the English expression, let sleep by. So
wait, you were disconnected. Can you say it again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let sleeping dogs lie.
Can.
In other words, if the dog is asleep, don't disturb him. He might bite you.
Yeah. We have this expression also in Hebrew. Al ta'ir dubim mirivtzam. We are talking about, but in Hebrew it's bears. Don't wake up the bears from the.
No, the birds. Tzipurim. Okay.
No. Bears. Bears. Dove.
Bear.
Bears. Dove. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't wake them up. Okay, so after this beautiful blessing, Sharon, את רוצה להמשיך? 10 to 14.
Okay, can I read from my book? It's just easier.
Excuse me, can it be let sleeping dogs lie?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hear, but okay.
Enraged at Balaam. Shall I start?
Yeah, please go on.
Enraged at Balaam, Balak struck his hands together. I called you, Balak said to Balaam, to damn my enemies, and instead you have blessed them these 3 times. Back with you at once to your own place. I was going to reward you richly, but the Lord has denied you the reward. Balaam replied to Balak, but I even told the messengers you sent to me. Though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not of my own accord do anything good or bad contrary to the Lord's command. But the Lord says that I must say. And now, as I go back to my people, let me inform you of what this people will do to your people in days to come. He took up this theme and said.
Thank you. So again, it is this scene of Balak disappointed is repeated itself. But here we have his smote his hand together. I think you read something else, but it's the same meaning. ויספוק את כפיו. Now, לספוק כפיים in the Bible means to express sorrow and despair. Okay? We have, שרון, את יכולה להמשיך, רגע, מאיוב, ציטוטים מאיוב ומאיכה.
I'm sorry, from 15?
Here. No, it's from Job, chapter 27, one verse, and then from Lamentations, chapter
Okay.
one
Yeah,
verse.
yeah. Men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss him out of his place. In my book, it says that for clapping the hands, striking hands together, it's a sign of derision. Derision is like negative feeling, criticism,
Okay, so
putting something down.
what I found about it is sorrow and despair. So negative.
Which
Yeah.
is a little different because this is more negative than
Okay.
sad. Okay. So you want me to continue? 15.
Yes.
It said, okay, he took up his theme and said,
רגע,
Word-
no, רגע, Sharon. I wanted to, if you
oh,
can-
I'm sorry, Lamentations. All that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem. Is this the city that men called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
What I wanted to show, thank you. What I wanted to show you is that look in what books we have this expression in Job and in Lamentations, which are books of
Sorrow. Bad thing, yeah. Negative.
sorrow and despair.
Excuse me,
Then,
we have also positive about clap hands in Yesaya, והרים עמך וכף.
נכון. Yes, but I want עמך וכף and not שפה כף. It's a little bit different. עמך וכף is like today. We are happy, we clap our hands. But שפה כפיים also today is not exactly, it's not a positive meaning. שפה כפיו, it is in literature, you can find it in it's quite a high level of Hebrew, but שפה כפיים is in this despair. Okay, it's not מחא כפיים.
We have two words of the same thing. Macha ve'sapak is the same thing. Today.
Yes, but it's not exactly the same. When you are in a show and you clap your hands, you will not say that you אני סופקת כפיים, because you will say אני מוחאת כפיים, because this is positive and this is negative. Okay. Now I have a question. Look at number 13. Okay. About the thing that if Balak will give me a lot of money and all that, okay, I cannot speak. Only I can speak. I cannot speak, but what God tells me, this is what he said, and he said it. This is the second time that he said it, but look how he said it in Numbers 22. Gershom, I think we are getting back to you. Can you read this and then read again this verse, okay?
So, sorry, read 18 and then what?
And then again this. Or we
Okay.
not necessarily. Maybe we just talk about, but 18.
Okay. And Balaam answered and said unto the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God to do anything small or great.
Okay.
My God.
My God. בדיוק. Now look at here. you don't have to, maybe I will read only the what I want to emphasize.
The Lord
To
speaketh.
do either, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord to do either good or bad of mine or mine own mind. Here he said beyond the word of the Lord, and here he said beyond the word of the Lord, my God. Okay, exactly the same verse. I think it's really, really exactly the same.
Aggressive.
Unless apart from my God. So I tried to find out about it, and Rashi says something, but I didn't quite understand what Rashi wanted to say. What do you think? Why is this here it's my God and here no? I mean, here's my God.
I think that
Chapters ago.
the accepted of God by Bilam is
Then.
graduated. All we read, זה הולך וגובל, the accepted and the relation, the הקשר with God is not from the beginning. Little by little by little by little.
Wait, רגע. It's a nice idea, but it's the other way around. Because Rivka, look, my God, he says in chapter 22. And in chapter 24, he doesn't say it. He says everything without my.
22 and 24, it's less.
זה פרק 24, זה פרק 22.
כן, what the Lord speak, ופה speak to me. אז זה היה 24, when the God speak without to me?
No, רגע, I will say it again. רגע, אני אגיד את זה רגע בעברית.
בסדר.
פרק 22, יש לנו אלוהים, אלוהי, בסדר? בפרק 24, יש לנו אלוהים בלי אלוהי.
הפוך.
הפוך.
ממה שחשבתי.
כן. So, what do you think? And try to see what happened in the beginning and about when he wanted to, well, Balak, the king of Moab, came to him and wanted him, not Balak, his messengers, but never mind, came to him and wanted him to come with him. And then God said, no, you cannot go. And you remember we were laughing about that he really wants the big money that Balak is has promised him. So he tried to find out a way to go. What do you think? Why in the beginning he says my Elohai and then
אוקיי, ניתן לי
כן, אני גם מחפש רגע.
לעבור.
Try to see if you have Rashi.
אם רוצים להתחמק, אנחנו אומרים, אין מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה.
אוקיי.
אם אני רוצה להכריח את העניין שלי, את הפירוש שלי, יכולים להגיד, אין מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה, ויש דירוג.
So Rivka uses the formula of Chazal, אין מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה, and then her commentary is, okay. So his connection to God got stronger.
Graduated.
רגע, יוסי, יש לי פה את הפירוש של רש"י, תגיד לי מה אתה מבין ממנו, טוב? אני אקריא את זה רגע בעברית. כאן לא נאמר אלוהי, כמו שנאמר בראשונה, לפי שידע שנבאש בהקדוש ברוך הוא ונטרד.
לפי שידע
שנבאש מהקדוש ברוך הוא. I understood that in the beginning, he thought that he's close to God like this. Okay, he's very close to him and God. And then God as, איך אומרים, העמיד אותו במקומו. שרון, בואי תעזרי לי רגע. God...
Stood him in his place, stood him in his place.
Exactly in English, okay. God showed him that he is the boss and put him in his place. And then he didn't want to mess with God, and he keeps a distance. Now he doesn't say, he fears to say, my God, Elohai.
Oh, I think the essential difference between those two places, it's in the first time it's written, Asot Tova Ora Milibi, from my heart. And from my heart, it's of course I wanted to make a bed for the Israel people, but God don't allow me. And
this is the second time. But you find
okay. The second time it's written from my heart, and then the first time it's not. It's just what God say.
Okay, so first of all, you found now another difference that I didn't notice is לעשות טובה או רעה מליבי. Do either good or bad for my own mind.
Yes. And with the of the ra of the bed. That's what I wanted, Bilam wanted to make.
So again, so he didn't want to say. So now he knows that what he's saying is it is from his own heart. This is what you're saying?
Yeah.
יש פה שני דברים. There is two things. לעבור את דברי אדוני, פי אדוני, it's to not to accept. There is a action. And the other, בהמשך, not to do something for myself. יש פה שניים, הוא גם אומר, יש פה התנגדות לאלוהים, הוא אומר, אני לא אתנגד לאלוהים. That means that before perhaps he didn't obey God.
Okay.
באותו משפט, באותו פסוק יש לך חיזוק כפול. פעם אחת הוא לא יתנגד, אולי פעם כן, ושנית לא יעשה שום דבר מעצמו.
במקום הראשון לא כתוב בכלל רע, זה לעשות קטנה או גדולה.
נכון, בדיוק.
זה רעה מליבי, לעשות טובה או רעה מליבי.
שום דבר.
according my wishes.
יש פה כניעה טוטלית לאלוהים, כניעה שלמה לאלוהים, הוא ממש כנוע.
בשני.
כן.
In the second.
Okay.
Okay, any other comments? John, Judy, Ruth, Sharon, Emmanuel.
Excuse me, before I wanted to notice that if animal shall not make a bad thing, we spoke about this. The idiom is in English. If it is this right idiom, let sleeping dogs lie. Could it be?
About where do you see dogs in English? I mean,
a lion. That a lion.
The lion. Okay.
Here we see a lion in our chapter, but an idiom in English is. So it's the idiom, in the general idiom. Let sleeping dogs lie. Could it be this idiom?
I'm not sure that it is right idiom now because it's. I think it's the idiom that. No, I think Bilam wants to show Israel like a lion, not like. I mean, a lion is the highest and strongest and best animal. not like any other animal. So I think the expression, the English expression of with dogs, I think that doesn't fit here.
No,
So-
I mean,
Crouching lions are,
Ruth, Ruth.
it is an idiom that we say, let sleeping dogs lie, but it doesn't, it just means when things are calm, don't, don't risk making them get mixed up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the power of the image of the lion. With the lion, it's more your personal safety. You don't want to disturb a sleeping lion because you might get eaten.
also.
I think just the expression with the dogs that just doesn't fit here. I mean, I understand it.
The lion isn't sleeping, it's crouching, and crouching lions are usually hunting. A lion that is crouching is already hunting.
Yes.
They're ambush predators. It's how they hunt.
Yeah. Although as much as I know, only the lioness hunt, not the
Yes,
lion.
only the females.
The lion as a real king just waits to bring him. His wife is bringing him the food.
Oh, I think that.
Is there a problem with this?
No.
We all know the female's more dangerous, don't we?
Oh, I think that we got from Bilam a terrible curse in the picture of blessing. The curse of blessing in Am Levadad Yishkon Uvagoim Lo Yitzchashav. It's the source of all our people's troubles in all of the generation, because we are put it in Megillat Esther, Am
Levadad Yishkon,
Yishkon, and all the people in all the generations wanted to kill me, and that's in Esther we say, מי שעמדה לאבותינו שלא
מי שעמדה לאבותינו, כן.
מי שעמדה לאבותינו שלא
שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, אלא שבכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לכלותנו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידם.
So this is the terrible curse that Bilam curse our people. עם לבדד ישכון ובגויים לא יתחשב.
אורה?
פסוק רע מאוד לימינו. ובגויים לא יתחשב.
No, please, without please.
Ora?
Let's focus.
I see that in Hebrew it says shachav ka'ari. Shachav does not mean crouch, it means to lie down.
Yeah.
So my interpretation is that the lion is full of food, is satisfied, but even if a lion is lying down, you still would not dare to disturb it.
And
so this is not a lion hunting, this is a lion resting.
After a good eating. Okay.
After a good meal that the lion is free.
Oh, we have
Israel, my interpretation, Israel will conquer everyone. We will strong, and after that, we are Noach.
Let's continue. Yeah, well, let's move on because, and we still, I mean, we have we still have the open question about this Elohai. So everyone can think whatever you think. רגע, אז אולי ג'ון, can you read please 15 to 17?
Word of Balaam, son of Beor. Oh, sorry. He took up his theme and said, word of Balaam, son of Beor, word of man whose eye is true, word of him who hears God's speech, who obtains knowledge from the Most High, and beholds visions from the Almighty, prostrate but with eyes unveiled. What I see for them is not yet, what I behold will not be soon. A star rises from Jacob, a scepter comes forth from Israel. It smashes the brow of Moab, the foundation of all children of Seth.
Okay. By the way, it's all, everything here is poetry of Bilam. Of course, everything is, and as Rivka said in the beginning, there is a parallelism with certain, in certain verses. Okay, so look at number 14 and number 15. Do you see any problem here? 14, and then again we have the 15.
I'm going back to my people, and this is what's going to happen to your people.
Okay, this is 14. Now, in
Yes.
15, so nothing about, I'm going to say again, anything. I'm going back to my people. We think that that's it. And all of a sudden, in 15, and he took up his parable and said, da, 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 da. So I was surprised to when I read this, because I didn't expect it. It's like, it's not, it doesn't go smoothly with the chapter. Do you see, do you agree with this?
It's could be viewed as l'esprit de l'escalier, in that he's leaving, he's just been told, you're not getting paid, get out of here. And he said, I only gave you some of the bad news. You're treating me like this, here's the rest.
Ah, okay, okay. And we have another Rashi, like Rivka, so you will be Rashi number 3. Yeah, so I'm saying it because you connected 14 and 15. You connected with something that we don't have it. And this is okay. This can be understood. For me, it was like it didn't. The chapter didn't flow like I thought it should. And again, he repeats what he said before in a certain differences. We will not get into it. We have a nice expression in Hebrew, darach kochavo. Now, darach kochav miYaakov, I didn't understand exactly the English, but I mean, I don't know if you have the expression in English, but in Hebrew, he means that someone who began to succeed, to be very, very successful. Darach kochavo means someone who
become a star.
Became a star, actually, became a star. Yes.
Sometimes
Now,
in English, we say his star is rising, or her
yes,
star is rising.
exactly. His star is rising, but the verb in Hebrew is to step on the star. It's
He became a star. Darach kochavo, he became a star. He is not a star,
yes.
he became. אני חושבת.
No, but became a star. It's like what Judy says. His star is rising.
Step forth a star.
Now, the image of a conquering or a winning king as a star is common in the ancient Near East, and especially in Egypt, like Thutmose III. It's a very famous king in the 14 BCE, 14th century BCE or 15th century BCE. So he was compared to a star.
אני יכולה משהו לחרוג? כן? רבי עקיבא was called from, לא רבי עקיבא, בר כוכבא, was called from by Rabbi Akiva, בר כוכבא, means son of a star, but his real name was בר כוזיבא. זה כינוי היה, בר כוכבא was, אני לא יודעת איך אומרים כינוי, by רבי עקיבא, to בר כוכבא. Yes. כינוי, איך את אומרת? misname?
Nickname.
Nickname.
Okay, and another thing, I want to show you something that I see that we've not been. If you give me a few more minutes we will see. We can finish the chapter if you don't mind.
Again.
Okay, so what I wanted to show you, he also, because he repeats himself, it's very interesting to compare to how he said it in the beginning. Now here in 17, Ere'enu velo ata, ashurenu velo karov, okay? I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not nigh. Now, in last chapter, in chapter 23, the verse number 9 says, Ki merosh tzurim ere'enu u'mikvaot ashurenu. Now, here are the same verbs, ere'enu and ashurenu. And in last chapters, his capability to see was only physical. Now, in chapter 24, his capability became also spiritual. This was what I wanted to show you, because it's not exactly, it's the same verbs, these are the same verbs, but not exactly the meaning, the exact meaning. And let's continue. Judy, can you continue 18 to 25?
Sure. 18. Edom becomes a possession, yea, Seir a possession of its enemies, but Israel is triumphant. A victor issues from Jacob to wipe out what is left of Ir. He saw Amalek, and taking up his theme, he said, a leading nation is Amalek, but its fate is to perish forever. He saw the Kenites, and taking up his theme, he said, though your abode be secure, and your nest be set among cliffs, yet shall Cain be consumed when Ashur takes you captive. He took up his theme and said, alas, who can survive except God has willed it? Ships come from the quarter of Kittim. They subject Ashur, subject Aver. They too shall perish forever. Then Balaam set out on his journey back home, and Balak also went his way.
Thank you. So here's we got really to the end of his saying. Now he was really going home. What do you say about all these other, because here other nations are mentioned. Amalek, we have the Kenite, we have the Ashur, Eber.
What I don't understand is why Balak let Bilam get away with all this. Just let him go back home. He asked him to do something.
Didn't what?
Why didn't he like take him prisoner or have him killed? It wasn't exactly, you know, a nice world at that time. People were very vindictive and violent. Why did he just let him go?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about this, the status of Bilam. He was very famous and well known all over the region. I mean,
okay, I didn't realize.
All over not only in one country or one region. He took Moab. Balak sent to bring him kilometers from Moab is Jordan of today. He sent to bring him from around the Turkey, Syria of today. I mean, it's a long way, and still he said he also said repeatedly, "This is I told you. Even if you give me $1,000 of I can say only what God. And probably Balak was maybe he believed him." So here, just to conclude this chapter, he says about the actually he prophesied, I guess.
Prophesied.
Okay, prophesizes about Israel. Here we can say maybe maybe it is the battle between King David and Edom. Okay, and Vayerd Yaakov. Someone also, maybe it is the King David. Vayerd means one have dominion is not exactly a king, but it is territory, no? Dominion.
Or maybe this is the
Dominion is rule.
Control.
Dominion, the law.
Yeah, but it has a
Yes, dominion is a place.
No, no, it's not a place.
it's both.
the rule something.
It's
Okay.
both.
Okay, in Hebrew, it's a bit different. Vayerd, it means that some king will rise up from Jacob. Okay, this it means, and maybe he talks about David, King David. יוסי, מה רצית לומר?
This is maybe the meaning of לא מקרוב אשורנו, belongs see over the present.
דומיניון זה שולט, אני חושבת שזה שולט.
שהוא רואה מרחוק את העתיד של עם ישראל ולא מקרוב.
This is really prophesizing about what will happen with Jacob, what will happen with Amalek, and not only connected to Israel, directly to Israel. Kenite. And remember, in the beginning of the chapter, he got Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of God, which means he became a prophet for this kind of sayings, and said, "Alas, who shall live after God has appointed him?" Okay, so he prophesied here about many other nations also, about Ashur.
But what bothers me about all of this is the idea of all of this conquest. We like to say that the Bible teaches peace, but it doesn't.
No. I don't know why do you say that the Bible teaches peace?
Well, I think it's more of a Christian idea. That idea that out of study of scripture, we should learn to live in peace with one another. But you can see how historically the resentment would arrive if this people would come in as conquerors. I mean, we don't have any rationale that the other peoples who were to be conquered did anything wrong. It's just that, in a sense, it's just that God chose us, and that it's more that this is to prove the supremacy of a particular concept of God. So, but it's done through conquest, and from modern day sensibilities, that seems like not a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bible is full of wars, and think that you cannot really understand where is the good in all this. Where is the good?
Right. And we always say here in the diaspora, as a minority in the diaspora, we read the news and we read it through the lens of, is this good for the Jews or is this bad for the Jews? Yeah. And it seems bad for the Jews to be depicted in this way.
You're talking about the chosen people.
Well, just the whole Not even so much that, even if we can rationalize the chosen people, this idea that we gain superiority through conquest, I mean, that is in the history of anti-Semitism, that's a trope against the Jews. It's not good for the Jews.
I'd actually say there are two sides to that. It's not what you're saying, I think, is it's not good for making the Jews seem lovable. And yet, on the other hand, it might be quite good for making it seem like it's not a good idea to mess with the Jews.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
Yes, leave us alone.
Yeah, I think the you know, the expression of Am Sgula and the chosen people only put us in big troubles all over the years. I mean, who wants to be chosen if there's all the nations around are only coming after us?
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, but no, exactly. Yeah.
To counter Ruth's point, there is justification given in Torah for all of the various wars. None of them are just to expand territory without some reason given as to why the people being conquered had it coming.
Well,
So
I don't.
it is still a violent book, but it's not that, you know, we're just going out to show God is tough. The sins of the people, inhabitants of Canaan, caused the land to vomit them out.
Yeah, that's a very known expression of the vomiting land. The land is.
And yet very, very few people are prone to say, yeah, we really deserved that.
Okay.
הפסוק האחרון הוא מדהים, ותרשי לי, יש לי עכשיו מחשבה.
כן, נו.
קרוא אותו, and Bilam rose up and went and returned to his place. And Balak also went his way. In Hebrew, we don't say his place, we say לעמו. למקומו.
למקומו.
Okay. Now what disturbed me? Balak joined God. He said, Elohai, my God.
Balaam said Elohai.
Bilam said Elohai, my God. In that time, the God was God Kashur, according the people and the land. So, but
it was
Bilam has another God, a strange God, and another, not the same land. כלומר, הוא עשה פה פירוק, הוא הביא את אלוהי ישראל לארצו, לעמו. He didn't join Israel like Ruth Moavia. He didn't join. Ruth said, I join your God and your land. And Bilam takes only the God. So what happened in his people, in his place?
By the way, it is called territorial God. Every land has its God.
Now he talk with him, the God, in other territory. Not.
Yeah, he did the relocation to our God. This is what you're saying. טוב, שיהיה לכם חג שמח. סדר פסח.
חג שמח.
חג שמח.
שלום וחג שמח. תודה.
חג שמח לכולם. ביי ביי.
תודה.
ביי ביי. Yeah.